Yes, go ahead. Okay, how many do you need? One more? Alright. Okay, some of you, very good. Starting to write names already. So all these are your valuable notes that you will use for your revisions if you don't want to take it. Okay, I don't want to hear noise. Are you all ready? Alright, can you please face the front? Look at the screen. Okay, if you look on the screen, today's lesson, lesson 2, Second Life lesson 2, we're actually going to do terraforming. Okay, terraforming, what is terraforming? Terra comes from the word terrain, and terrain means land. Land is very important to geographers because we modify the land, be it through either physical means like erosion, transportation, deposition, or through human means. So physical human processes at work on the piece of land. You shape the land, you modify the land, that's why you get different landscapes. Okay, so land to a geographer is very important. So today we're going to look at the land, right? Alright, but before we do that, let's just do a quick recap on the previous lesson. Okay, so this is a screenshot that I got from Second Life.
Yeah, the water come down.
The water what?
The water come down.
Yeah, exactly. So wait. Okay, so this was a screenshot of the river that I took before they did some modifications to the river. Okay, so let's look at this first. Can you all just throw out words that relate to this river system? Waterfall. Okay, where? Where? How would you describe that part? Very good. Upper course. Jade? Can you just indicate on the screenshot where exactly is the upper course? Just show me that part. Oh, that good. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. So need to go taller there. Around, okay. So somewhere around there, okay. Next time we get someone taller to come up with it. So somewhere around there, upper course of the river. Okay, what else? That's where you find the waterfall, right? Okay, what else? Delta, okay, where? Lower course, okay, where do you go? Where's the lower course? Okay, somewhere around here, this entire thing is the lower course, right? So where's the delta? Okay, good, thank you. Is he right? Anyone thinks the delta is somewhere else? So all of you are okay, yeah? Okay, what else? What else can you tell me about the river system that you learned last lesson? Let's hear from someone else. Anybody? Just throw out words, it's okay. Nicholas? Nicholas? Anything? Meanders? Okay, where? Huh? Where? Oh, okay. So you only this part. So only this part is the meander. Okay, what also meander? No. So can you please trace properly? Okay, what else? So you realize whatever your friends have mentioned, waterfall, meanders, deltas, what are all these? Again? Okay, some said parts of a river. This one? What do you say, Elijah? Elijah, sorry, huh? Elijah? Yeah. Elijah, yes. River features. So who is correct? Or both are correct? identify the river features. Or if I ask you to, what do you say, river system? Identify the parts of a river system. How would you answer these two questions? Would you answer the same thing? Waterfall, meander, delta? Or would you answer something different? Oh? How would you answer? Is it the same answer to the two questions there? Can I repeat? So my question is, just now all your friends mentioned waterfall, meander, deltas, right? What are these? Waterfall, meander, deltas, right? What are these? Are they river features or are they parts of the river system? Okay, they are parts of the river system. Is it? Okay, how many of you think Ho Hong is correct to say that they are parts of the river system? Did you say river features or river system? Huh? System. Yeah. So he said they are parts of the river system. So is he correct to say that? How many of you disagree? Okay, Nicholas disagrees. Why? Let's try, right? Don't try now, don't think now, then exams then come and bubble, is it? Features. Okay. Can I say that they are both? Okay, why? Thank you so much, because the features are part of the river system. Exactly. Right? Yeah, correct. So he's right to say that. Alright, where are the features found? The features are found in the river system, right? Alright? So you mean the rivers are found in our immune system? No, right? So the rivers are the features, the river features like the waterfall, the meanders, the deltas, they are part of the river system. So if my exam question or my test question or any workbook activity question that asks you to identify river features, it's not wrong for you to say it is the waterfall, the meanders, and the deltas. Okay, if you encounter another question which asks you to identify parts of the river system, you can also say that the waterfall, the meanders, and the deltas. Alright, but it would be good if you can specify which part of the river system. So how do you specify which part of the river system? That's when you bring in words like, let's hear from Vanessa. Vanessa says second line is very interesting. More interesting than my classroom lesson. So we must hear from her. So how do I specify which river feature is found in which part of the river system? What words should I use? Or what terms should I use? Okay, upper course, lower course, very good, and one more. Middle course, yes. Alright, so this is how you craft a good answer for your questions. Okay, it depends on the question. Okay, if the question just asks you to identify the river features, then you just throw in all the river waterfall, meanders, and deltas. But if they ask you to identify the parts of the rivers or the features that are found in the river system, then please bring in words like upper course, middle course, and lower course to tie in together with the river features. Okay? Right? Okay. So this was what we did last lesson. No one mentioned anything about the gradient of the land. No one mentioned anything about the speed of the river. Can we have adjectives like this? Paige, can you tell me something about the land or something about the river in terms of the flow of the water? Okay, fast flowing. What do you say? Fast flowing in the upper course of the river. Okay, now my next question is why? Why did she say that the river is fast flowing in the upper course? What resulted in the water being fast flowing in the upper course of the river? Anybody? Let's hear from someone else. Cheryl? Why is it fast flowing? Higher meaning what? There's more gravity, so you're talking about higher up. Highland, right? Highland, huh? So because it's highland, what do you realize about the gradient of the land, Gerald? Steep. Thank you so much. Okay, because the land is steep, you have water flowing down. Okay, Gerald, you can sit down. Thank you. Alright, just like if I ask Gerald to wear rollerblades and I push him down a slope versus if I just push him on a flat piece of land, Gerald's going to slide down much faster on the slope. So same thing for the river. Alright, so these are some things we have gone through the last lesson. So when you were in yes.
Can I say something? Gerald, why did you bring in gravity? It's very interesting that you brought in gravity. You're actually correct, but I just want to, I want you to, why did you bring in gravity? Why? Okay, and how do you know this? What is this called when there's more gravity acting on an object that's at a higher altitude? Potential energy. Very good, thank you. So you notice how you can bring in a concept from your physics and you can transplant it over in your essay into a geography essay. It will distinguish. Do you think others? It's not easy for students who are from other schools to make this kind of connection. But if you can make this kind of connection, your answer will stand out at the O levels. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because other people will just be thinking of a geography answer as a geography answer. They may not be so ready to bring in concepts from outside geography. But Gerald's comment on potential energy is relevant to this conversation, right? Do we understand how it's relevant? Because we are talking about a higher altitude, right? So those of you who are more familiar and comfortable with science concepts, if you wish to bring these in, you can do so. Do you understand this?
Alright. Now to answer a question that was, I think Jonas brought up this question last week. Also, by the way, you can actually sum up whatever we have gone through last week as well as this week in your fishbone diagram. Okay, so this will be a good graphic organizer for your revision. Alright, now Jonas brought up this question last week, so we'll address it. Why do you think the color of the water and the channel is different?
There's a lot of sediments there.
Let's hear from Jonas since he was the one who asked the question. Jonas, what have you found out over the weekend? You want to stand up so that the camera can capture your handsome face?
The sediments are deposited there.
Okay, so the sediments are deposited where? There, where? So you have to be very precise in your answer. You cannot just say there. There, where?
Near the mouth of the
Okay, near the mouth. If I were to divide it up, this entire river system, which part of the river? The lower course. Okay, so can you just do everything again? Can you describe what you see?
sediments are deposited at the lower course of the river.
Okay, thank you very much. Jonas says that the sediments are deposited at the lower course. You realize because my question was described, so he merely just told me what he sees on the screen. So same thing in exam questions, if there is a photograph, if there is a diagram there, the question only says describe the diagram, describe the photograph, then please just write whatever you see in the diagram. That's called a description question. Okay, now if I were to go up one level, I ask you to explain. So explain whatever you see or explain whatever you describe in part 1. So how would you explain? Why is the river channel, why is the water a bit brownish, a bit murky? Why? Anybody? Jerry? Why? Yeah lah, so why got sediments?
From where, Jerry?
Got sand why?
From erosion
Okay, erosion from where?
place that took place in the upper course and middle course.
Okay, erosion that took place at the upper course. So what happened because of erosion that took place at the upper course of the river?
The sediments are brought all the way to
Okay, they are broad. Can you use a proper geographical process? The term? So erosion is the correct. You never say that the river, the river take up the sediments, right? So you use erosion, right? Okay, good. So now instead of saying that the river brought the sediments down, what's the proper term? What's the proper process? Yeah, what's the proper process? Remember, you have to be very specific in your answers. Anybody wants to help, Jerry? Kevin?
Carry it along.
So what's the proper process? Very good, thank you. So the load is being transported, Jerry. Is that okay? Transported down the river, and then it finally gets deposited where? Yes, at the lower course of the river. Okay? So this is the explanation for why perhaps that the water is slightly more murky. Why is it that the sediments are deposited here? Because of the fact that energy, river energy is low, because of things like flat land and so on and so forth. Alright? Okay? Alright, so any questions so far? Okay, so that was what we did the last lesson. Okay, and just to show you, I was so excited when I saw this, I had to sink my own avatar into the sediments. Right? Okay, and if you look at my avatar, how deep do you think the water is?
Not that deep.
Okay, so where? How would you describe? Okay, maybe knee length, maybe ankle depth. Okay, so this is how you can actually get yourself your dirty in the river, experiencing all that without really going down to the river. We talked about all these last week, alright? Alright, so today's lesson, like I said, we're going to do terraforming. Last week you were exploring Temasek North. Temasek North, the river was created for you. So I showed you, or you went in to explore the river. So hopefully you've actually learned something, okay, by showing you all these. Cannot bring you to the river, right? So bring the river to you. So show you the river, show you that the speed of the river varies along the course, show you something, hopefully you learn. Today, we are going to involve you, we're going to let you create your own river. So hopefully you understand something after the creation bit. Okay, so in your groups now, can you first of all identify which group number you are? Okay, because each of you will be assigned a different lane to work with later on. Okay, so this group here, this table here, you are table number 1. This is table number 4. This is table number 7 here. Okay, and the table right behind there is table 10. So can all of you remember your group number first? Can, huh? Okay, so because with this group number that you have, alright, later on you'll be assigned a lane to work with. So if you look at the land here, okay, each of this is a land. So you look at the numbers that you've been assigned to. Later on you'll be working only within that lane. Okay, don't go and sabo other people's land. Huh? Alright, so we will go to Temasek Terraforming today. This is another island that we're going to go to so that you can actually play and create your own river. Okay, so before it looks like this, after it should look something like this if you do a proper job. So you see now, it's very obvious that there are lanes. Okay, in the previous slide, you can only see all the lanes like this. Okay, but you can see a bit of a differentiation. So this is one lane, this is one lane. Okay, so after that, after you play with it, it should look something like this. So each of you have a different lane.
But hopefully better lah.
Yeah, of course, hopefully has to be more professional. This was the snapshot done of another class when they had their pre-lesson play around. Okay, so they played around and then they did rubbish, but never mind. Today we will do something better than this. Okay, so each of you will work with a lane like this. Now we are talking about lanes that you can terraform, but if we relate it back to geographical concepts, okay, this is what we call a drainage basin. Why? Because within your drainage basin, you must have a river as well as the related fish. So entire river system, you put in this lane here, this is what we call a drainage basin. We've learned this in Sec 1, but just to recap. Okay, and why do you think we make the lanes like this? Why do you think we have a wall here to prevent you from coming into another person's lane?
Prevent water from coming in.
Okay, so prevent you from sabotaging your friend's river, right? But likewise, why is it that we want to demarcate each of this as one parcel? It's because in real life, okay, we have a watershed. To demarcate, this is river A, this is river B. So today we will have 10 river systems, we will have 10 drainage basins, all separated by their own watershed. So hopefully at the end of the lesson we'll see 10 amazing rivers created by each of the 10 groups. Shall we go soon? Okay. So how to go about creating your river? Okay, first of all, an entire river, like I said, upper course, middle course, lower course, and the delta. Okay, because it's very happy, don't know why. You like to do which part of the river? You like to do the upper course of the river. Okay. So because it's very fast, he's already looking at which part of the river he's in charge of. Okay, so within a group of 4 of you, what you will do later on is each of you will be in charge of, Vanessa? Each of you will be in charge of a part of the river. Okay, so look at it and remember now. Okay, so Frank, which part of the river are you supposed to be looking at? Okay, can. Alright, so please remember. Alright, now before you can, what is it that you should be doing to create your land? Okay, these are the instructions. If you don't listen to the instruction, then later on it's very difficult for you to create your river. Okay, so right click. Once you do a right click, you should be able to see edit terrain. Again, terrain means land, right? So now today we want to edit the piece of land that has been given to us. We want to modify, we want to make changes to the land. Okay, so right click, select edit terrain. Alright, and this is the part here where you can either raise or flatten or lower the land depending on which part of the river you are doing. Okay, so then based on whatever you've learned the previous lesson about, okay, lower cost has this characteristic, upper cost has this characteristic, you lower and raise the land accordingly. Okay, you can choose the strength. Of course, if you go up to the maximum, it means to say a small click will result in a massive change in the land. So if you think we cannot really control your mouse that well, what I would suggest is you put in the middle, put everything into the middle, strength and everything, so that you are able to control the up and the rise and the drop of the land. Alright, and so when you actually do a right click and you click edit terrain, you select whatever you want to do, your cursor will turn into a bulldozer-like symbol. So whichever part you move your bulldozer onto, you should be able to modify the land. Okay? So if you were to look at the aerial view again, this is the sea, so then you start to think, okay, so if this is the sea, where should my upper course be? Okay, let's see whether you can figure that out or not. Okay, where should your upper course be? Where should your middle course, lower course, and delta area? Okay. Okay, this was the river that I created the last year. Okay, so if Ms. Lim can do it, you can also do it. All of you should be more IT savvy than me, right? Okay, I didn't dare to touch the piece of land that you're going to use today just in case I make a mess of it. So this was the river system that I created a few years back. Okay, so try and show the difference. Okay, try and show the river meandering, try and show deposition, try and show raise of land. Okay, so each of you will be in charge of different parts. Okay, any questions so far? No? Then ultimately after that we will want to take a look at your wonderful pieces of work. So student one, you got an added responsibility, student one, you have to then help me take a snapshot. So click on this button here, take a snapshot. Yeah, and email it over to me. Okay, you can name your river, our amazing river, our wonderful river, whatever it is. Okay, so all the instructions are in the worksheets. Any questions? Yeah. But this computer cannot go onto the internet. Only the student's computer. Yes, Paige? Huh? Short of one worksheet. Okay, I'll get it. Short of, oh, why? Okay. Good question. Paige just said short of one person. Are you sure? You're only short of one person who is physically here. But what is the power when you go into Second Life? Will you not be able to communicate with him? He doesn't have to be physically there with you, my dear. Right? Yeah, Elijah's part of that team, but the computer terminal is spoiled, right? So how? So Elijah will use this terminal here, but will you still be able to come up with the river? Can, right? Okay? Can? So you will make sure you fly your avatar to where they are. Alright, so the remaining 9 groups, you have the added advantage of being physically near your friends, as well as in war, you will be also near your friends. That group 10, a bit of a challenge for them, but they will still be able to make it because even if physically they are not around in war, they will still be around each other. They can fly around in war. Okay, can So later on for the half an hour when you're doing your creation of the river, okay, I'm okay with you if you need to talk across the table because you need to tell a friend, hey, don't lower my part and don't raise my part. Okay, so you need to know which part to be raised and which part to be lowered. Alright, Ken? No questions? Can you please switch on your computers now? I don't want to see people on the keyboard. I don't see people's fingers on the keyboard. People's eyes on the computer screen. Your eyes should be on me. Listen. Alright, so after you have created your river, I'm going to give you half an hour to do your terraforming, half an hour to create your river system. At the end of half an hour, you can do a screenshot to email it to me. Likewise, we will want to lock your river so that other people cannot come in to sabotage. So since member number 1 is in charge of sending the screenshot over to me, second member of the group, member number 2, can you just raise your hand? We'll come around to do the locking of the river for you. Okay, so now can you just as per usual log into second line? We will come around to give you the password. Alright, please go ahead.
I don't know, but then the ball is now like so screwed up. You sure you got see or not? According to the she wants sabo one.
Hey, what happened to this?
It didn't tell me.
Hey, but how do you connect the roll cause anything like that?
It wouldn't be just lower and
Hey, this one me lower. Hey, this one me lower.
now we'll do that. So this how we cancel.
Okay, what happened to the extra?
Let's come
No, I just went into the water.
Ah, very good.
Oh my god. I think I'm going
Very good.
Ayah, never mind.
Này ông nói rất là vui. Lại uống rất là vui. Dạ.
Maybe like you must connect to the river. Then you know how we put the water inside. Push all the way down. So everything goes down.
Cô bảo có những cái gì à? Xin nói gì?
But then yeah, but then you walk like this should be like something that can be done. But you should put down. You should put everything in the water except for the upper court, the river. So our one right is like connect now.
Cái này đây. Cô lại như vậy.
All the way down. But then slowly go down. Then after just go down. But if we get a water, we can go like from that sea.
Cô biết nhiều một thôi. Em coi cô thử xem về.
As you can see, I can eat
Hey, why is it like that?
Why do we not go so high?
Whatever you do, the entire basin is doing. You don't do like so this way only what the area that you're actually making it. I mean, for example, yeah, which area, what part of it, so whatever you're trying to do, what you're trying to raise it still. Okay, this is how you can go. I think you're satisfied.
This is like being wrong. I don't know you raised Oops, it's going in. Oh no.
Alright, 12 and a half minutes more.
Something like
Hey Ryan, go and do
we're all going down, now the air water. Hey, we all do You know what? They're supposed to be lower, but then we are all raising the hand.
When your size is high, this means that whatever you're doing actually affects the level you're trying to do.
Oops.
Yeah, you're not working out, many of you, the four of you, many of you, sudden, the movements are very sudden. Because if you look at the others, they are doing this PR because their size is very small, so it's very subtle. Okay?
To lower until very nice. But I don't know how to make the water. Yeah, the water supposed to flow there. Who making the hole there? Why the hole there? No.
Size lah. Upper course. Okay, I'll help you.
I'm just modeling the color. Yes. But I don't know how to do it.
I can't do color.
Never mind, just do the other
Shape of the land. Okay, we just want to see the shape of your land first.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, quite nice.
Is it okay? The top part.
But the waterfall, actually I
Alright, now, listen. Some of you have got very good view of your group's river. So I'm going to open this option to all of you. Okay, you can do a snapshot of the river regardless of whether you're student 1, 2, 3, 4. Email it to me and I'll compile the photos for all of you. Okay?
look down. I lowered everything up. The delta very cheap.
Oh shit. Hey. Who raised it? What happened? You know what?
Unlocking your river.
Shit lah.
We are now locking group A. Who else wants to lock?
Okay. One last minute. If you haven't locked your ribbon, please do so. Raise your hands. Thank you very much. No, hurry up. Half a minute. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry. They can all you face the front. There's nothing you can do to the land now. It has all been locked, my dear boys and girls. Alright, dear. Can you take? Wow. I've been safe. Yes. I will not start until I see all of you taking your hands off the keyboard, eyes off the screen. Turn and face the front. Okay. So how was it?
Okay lah.
Okay only. Alright. So we hope you had fun. We hope you had an enjoyable time creating your own river. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to let you do some consolidation on your own. Alright, so we're going to get you to do a quick reflection. So if you look at the last page of your worksheet, 2 minutes. Okay, you just do a quick reflection. Answer the questions, some of your experiences, difficulties faced. Okay, so 2 minutes of quiet reflection on your own. Whatever difficulties that you faced, you can include them. You went through just now, whether you had a difficult time trying to collaborate with the other members of the group, so on and so forth. Okay, but looking at the time, we are left with 10 minutes to the end of the lesson. Okay, so instead we will get some groups to share, to come out and present their amazing rivers. Okay? Okay, so finish up your last sentence. We'll try and wrap up the lesson with the last, using the last 10 minutes of full class discussion. All of you please face the front. Okay, no more writing, face the front. Okay, hands off the keyboard, eyes off the monitor, face the front. Okay, we're going to get some of the groups to share with us or to showcase their rivers. Okay, so any volunteers? No, then I will have to volunteer you now. Okay, as we were walking around, we saw a lot of amazing rivers. We just have a look at all the rivers. Okay, we will have an aerial view of all the 10 lanes. Okay, all of you take a look at your friends' other group's work. Anyway, that's my avatar.
Why is it jump?
Yeah, that's the control for the island. Something. Okay, so what food is this? This is. Four, yeah, this is group 4. Okay, let's show.
We are looking at group 4's river, and group 4 is 1, 2, 3, this group, right? Okay. Oh, wow.
So bright. Oh, where is it?
The water, the water damn white.
Alright, before we get group 1, 2, 3, group 4 to explain their river system, look at it. Any comments from the other groups? What do you like about their river system? Or you think yours is better? And we should showcase yours instead, right? Any comments? Do you like their river system?
Oh, very nice.
No one wants to give comments, I'm so shy.
Oh, whoever did the delta is really good.
Okay, nothing you want to share, nothing you want to comment about. Okay, then we'll get the group to come out and present first. And maybe after that you'll be warmed up and you are okay with giving comments. So can all the 4 of you come up? Come on, it's okay, it's fine. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause.
Just use this.
Okay, you can take control of my avatar and fly to whichever part you want to explain.
E will fly. No, you don't use.
Okay, because the teacher's computer is not able to go on the internet, so we have to use the laptop instead. Okay, so one of you can do the controlling, the others will describe. Okay. Okay, the rest of you, while you're waiting, since you don't want to volunteer yourselves, then I will ask Ray. Ray is clearing his throat already to speak, so we must give him a chance. So Ray, how was your experience just now? Okay, let's listen to Ray. The rest of you. So Ray, what was your experience like?
Very enjoyable to build the meander.
To build the what? The middle, the meander, is it? Okay, so how did you construct your meander?
How did I construct?
Yeah. What was your impression of how a meander looks like?
the curve?
Okay, curve, bend. So what do you do to the land? You also had to make sure the land is curved and bended, right? So was it difficult?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. Right. Okay.
our valley. Then it actually goes downwards. Then there's a flat area here. Then this is where the waterfall goes. So this area is actually very shallow. Then slowly as it goes through the river, it will get less shallow because it does the water flow. It doesn't do any much damage, right? Then slowly it brings slowly the mineral form up. The mineral form then it breaks up some of the land. Here, there's 2 areas that can flow. Then they'll form the delta.
So would you want to point out on the screen specifically which part is the delta?
This is our delta. This area here.
Okay. So the brown part that is the delta or the blue part that is the delta?
The brown part.
The brown part that is the delta.
No, this is our flood plain, but then it's flooded with water because because flooding, it occurs too much flooding, then some of the water will stay there. Then that's why it's
Flooded, alright, then?
as river, the land cannot be too flat, right? So you roughen up some of the land, then some will smoothen the land, then it becomes all bumpy.
So which part is slightly more bumpy?
This area, the area further to the delta is usually the bumpy area, right?
Further from the delta. Okay, so which course?
Middle course, the upper course.
Okay, so the land is slightly rougher, right?
Rougher
Okay.
and not so straight up because they did most of the activities.
What activities? What's the process?
Erosion. Erosion occurs at the upper course and lower course, so the land they won't be flat, right? Usually in the lower course, erosion doesn't occur, so usually the land will be normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is that all? Any other things that the other members want to add? No? Alright, can we keep the view there? Okay, thank you very much, Group 4. Can we give Group 4 a round of applause? Okay, based on what they shared, okay, let's look at it bit by bit.
I think it as snapshot. Just put out.
Alright, so a few things that the group brought out, or rather the spokesperson of the group brought out. He already mentioned that, okay, we will look at this part. This is the what course of the river? Okay, the lower course and the delta area. So I asked Rainy just now whether the blue part or the brown part is the delta. Rainy said the brown part represented the delta, right? So he said that these are the deltas, right? Okay, so all these that you see, the brown parts here, they are the delta. So based on your understanding of what is a delta actually? What is a delta? Let's hear from other people. Chelsea, you want to try? That's correct. See, all of you know. I don't know why you're so shy today. Is it because there's a camera there? Yes, Really? Okay, so Chelsea is right to say it's because of the accumulation of sediments. So because the sediments have accumulated here, okay, because of deposition taking place, because of river energy being very low, that's why all these brown land masses that you see, they are actually the delta. Now, what I like about this group's terraforming is that they specifically look at the details. Because there are land masses here like that, what happens to the flow of the river? Does it still flow in one straight path? What have they done? Observe, what have they done? Here? Spread what? So what has happened here? Splits up, very good. So then if the river splits up like this, do you remember whatever you've learned in Sec 1? What do we call these small streams here? Yes, I hear something here then. Just say it out loud. Anybody? Singing? Again, louder. Distributaries, yes. So whatever water that was flowing in the main channel, because there are lots of obstructions channels. Okay, so this group actually made sure they put in all the exact details when they were creating their river. Okay, now just 2 more minutes. Now this part here, look at what they have done. They have actually made the river bend to represent the meanders. Okay, now let's go. Middle, yeah, upstream, yeah. Alright, so they showed that the river bends, so they have nicely created the meanders. Now what would happen over time? If the river continues to bend and the bends become even more pronounced and obvious, what will happen? There will be a what? Yes, Vanessa? Oh, Vanessa, very good. Oxbow Lake.
Which one would form the oxbow lake? Where would the oxbow lake form?
On.
There's this.
Okay, so Vanessa is right to say that over time, okay, because the river changes over time, because the river is dynamic, okay, the meander will actually evolve into an oxbow lake. So now what we're trying to do is, okay, where do you think the oxbow lake will form? Vanessa, do you want to come out and just indicate on the screen? Try. Vanessa, come. Thinking, okay.
Or we can take a snapshot and follow it through next week.
How, Vanessa? Do you prefer to do it next week or do you want to get over and done with today? Next week, Now recess or now hungry, cannot think, is it? Okay. Fine, I managed to capture that last thinking from you about oxbow lake. Not bad. Alright. Now, okay, this is what we will do. Next week, according to the lesson, before you pack your stuff. Okay. Now, according to the lesson plan, next week we will be actually doing the interpretation of the landform using contour lines. So based on whatever river you have created, we will look at it via the topographical map. Okay? So then you will get a better idea of how the landform is 3D as well as how it's represented on topographical maps. And maps are very important for geographers. Okay? So today you have created your own river. The last lesson, you were merely looking at the river that was created for you. Next lesson, we will further go on to interpret how the river looks at from the different views. Okay, any questions? Yes? No? Okay, now if you realize in today's worksheets, other than the instructions that were given to you, each student, your task was to describe the course of the river in one word, as well as to describe and explain the formation of the river feature that you were in charge of. Yeah, I know just now you were very engrossed in doing the terraforming, which is fine, okay, because outside lesson time you won't have the chance to do it. Okay, so what I need you to do is to wrap up, to consolidate the content. Please go home and fill this up for me. Okay, so this will then form your notes for the exams. Okay, so your whatever experience in class plus the handwritten notes in the worksheet, all these you will bring to the exam. Okay, any questions? 3, 4, 3, 5? I don't hear you responding. Sure?